Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their lives, whose misadventures piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Gregory, oh my word, will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and we being collar will draw.
Aye, while you live, draw your neck out of collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
Ah, dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runst away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I would take the wall of any man or maid of Montague's.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True. And therefore, woman, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his mates to the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids, and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, all the maiden heads, take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it.
Me they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of the Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Curl, I will beat back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run?
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Fear me not.
Let us take the law of our sides, let them begin. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them, if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is it the law of our side if I say A?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir?
Say better. Here comes one of the master's kinsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw, if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Hard fools, put up your swords. You know not what you do.
What? Art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death.
I do, but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage apart these men with me.
What? Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward.
Clubs, bills, and partisans, strike! Beat them down! Down with the Capulets! Down with the Montagues!
What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho.
A crutch, why call you for a sword?
My sword, I say, old Montague is come, and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
So, villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go.
Thou shalt not stir a foot to seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of the neighbor's stained steel, will they not hear? What? Ho, you men, you beast, that quench the fire of your prescience rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain or torture from the bloody hands. Throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 silver brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, to wield o'er partisans in hands as old cankered with the peace, to part your cankered hate. If you ever disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montagues come with this afternoon, to know our further pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. One more, on pain death, all men depart.
Who said this ancient quarrel knew a grudge? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, closely fighting ere did I approach. I drew to part them. In the instance came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds. Who nothing hurt with hissed him in scorn, while we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not in his fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where, underneath a grove of a sycamore that westward rooteth from the city side. So early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, that most are buried when they're most alone, pursued my humor, not pursuing his, and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the furthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed. Away from the light steals home my heavy son, and private in his chambers pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks far daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends. But he, his own affections' counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See, where he comes? So please you, step aside. I know his grievance, or be much denied.
I with those words so happy by the stay, to hear through strip. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
but news struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What saddening lengthens Romeo hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love,
Out.
Of love?
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alias, that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? O me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything, of nothing first create, O heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, 'cause I rather weep.
Good heart. What?
that thy good heart so precious.
Why such is love's transgression? Grief or mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt progenate to have expressed with more of thine, this love that thou hast shown, doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke rise with the fume of sight, being purged, a fire sparkling in lover's eye, being swept at sea, nurturing with lover's tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a clothing gall and a perversing sweet. Farewell, my cause.
Soft. I will go along. And if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I'm not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What? Shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why no, but sadly tell me who.
Bid a sick man in sadness make his will. Ah, word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I am mid so near, when I supposed you love.
A right good markman, and she's fair I love.
All right, fair mark. Fair cuss is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit. And in strong proof of chastity well armed, from love's weak childish bow she lives unharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bide the encounter of assailing eyes, nor ope her lap to saint seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, only poor, that when she dies with beauty, dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will still lie chaste?
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste, for beauty starved with her severity cuts beauty off from all prosperity. She is too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead, that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how. I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
This the way to call her exquisite, just more. You have masked fair lady's brows, being black put us in the mind they hide the fair. He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost, Show me a mistress that is passing fair, who doth her beauty serve but as a knot, where I might read who passed that passion fair. Farewell, thou cannot teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, or else in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you live at odds so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying o'er what I have said before, my child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree. Within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you among the store. One more must welcome, makes my number more at my poor house look to behold this night. Earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light, such comforts as the lusty young men feel, when well apparelled April on the heel of limping winter treads, even such delight among fresh female buds shall you this night inherit at my house. Here all see, and like her most, whose married most shall be, which on more view of many mind being one, may stand in number, though in reckoning none. Come, go with me. Go, Sirat, trudge about, through fair Verona, find those persons out, whose names are written there, and to them say, my house and welcome under pleasure stay.
Find them out, whoever's names are written here. It is written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, and tailor with his glass, the fisher with his pencil, and the painter with his net. But I am set to find the persons whose names are here writ, and I can never find what names the writing persons hath here writ. I must to the learned in good time.
Oh man, one fire burns out of another's burning, one pain is less by another's anguish. Turn idle, and be whole by backwards turning. One despite grief cures with another's language. Take thus some new infection to my eye, and the rank poison of the all will die.
Your plaintive leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shield.
Why, Romeo, art thou mad?
Not mad, but bound more than a madman is. Shut up in prison, kept without my food, whipped and tormented. God and good fellow.
God ye, God then, I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune is my misery.
Perhaps you have learned it without a book, but I pray, can you read anything you think you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Ye say honestly, rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, Count Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitravio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosalind, Livia, Signor Valentio and his cousin Tybalt, Lucia and the lively Helena, a fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up.
Whither?
To supper, to our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet sups, the fair Rosalind, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona, go thither, and with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
When the devout religion of mine eye maintains such falsehood, then turns fears to fires, and these, who often drowned, could never die, transparent heretics, be burnt for liars. One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since the first the world begun.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by, herself poised with herself in either eye. But in that crystal scales let there be weighed your lady love against some of their maids, that I will show you shining at his feast. And the shall scant show will that know shows best.
I'll go alone, no such sight to be shown, but to you rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead, a 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid. Where's the girl? What Juliet?
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Madame, I'm here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou's hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She is not 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teeth be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not 14. How long is it now to Lammas tide?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me, but as I say, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget. Of all the days of the year upon that day, for I had then lain wormward to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove of the house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do not bear brain, but as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dog, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tatchy and call out with the dog. Shake off the dove house. 'Twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone, nay, by the rood. She could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jule? And by my holy dame, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I, to see now how our jest shall come about. I warned, and I should live 1,000 years. I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jew? Quoth he. Ah, and pretty fool, it stinted and said, I.
Enough of this. I pray thee hold thy peace.
Yes, madame, yet I cannot choose but laugh. To think it should leave crying and say I, and yet I warned. It had upon its brow a bomb as big as young cockerel's song, a perilous knock, and it cried bitterly, yeah, quoth my husband, falls upon thy face. Thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Will thou not do it stand and say, I?
And stint thou too. I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou was the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dreamed not of.
An honor. Were not a thin only nurse, I would say thou hadst sucked wisdom from the teeth.
Well, I think of marriage now, younger than thou. Here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers, by my count. I was your mother, march upon these years, that you are now a maid. Thus, then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, lady, such a man as all the world, why, he's a man of wax.
Verona's summer had not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine each married lineament, and see how one another lends content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many eyes doth share the glory, that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you dare share all that he doth possess by having him.
No less, nay bigger, women grow by the men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like, if look in liking moves, but no more deep will I end at mine eyes, than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come. Supper served up. You called. My young lady asked for me. The nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights to happy days.
What? Shall this speech be spoke for our excuse? Or shall we on without an apology?
The date is out of such proximity. We'll have no Cupid hoodwinked with a scarf, bearing a TARDIS painted bolt of laugh, scaring the ladies like a crow Cuba. Nor without low prologue, faintly spoke after the prompter for our entrance, but let them measure us by the what they will. We'll measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so me to this ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above. Come unbound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light feathers, and so bound I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to think in it, should you burden love, to great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, you be love with love. Prick love for prickling and your beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in. A visor for a visor, what curious eye doth cure deformities. Here are the beetle brows shall bush for me.
Come, knock and enter, and no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs.
A torch for me. Let wantons light a fire. Tickle the senseless brushes with their heels. For I am proverbed with the grandsire phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was near, so fair, and I am done.
Thou dons the mouse, the countable on words, if thou art dumb, will drown thee from the mire of this stir reverence love, wherein thou stick up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight ho.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay we waste our lights in vain like lamps by day. Take our good meaning, for our judgment sits 5 times in that air, once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no way to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed, asleep, while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies athwart men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spiders' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider's web, the collars of the moonshine's watery beams. Her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film, her wagoner a small gray-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind, the fairies' coachmakers. And in the state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love, or courtiers' knees that dream on curtsies straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry mob with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweet meats tainted are. Sometimes she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. Then dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth o'er a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breaches, of ambuscados, Spanish blades, of hell's 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and rakes. And being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, sleeps again. This is that very mob that plats the means of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once untangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou thoughts of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin of substance as the air and more inconstant than the wind, who woos even now the frozen bosom of the north, and, being angered, puffs away from thence, turning on his face to the dew-dropping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives. Some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date. With this night's revels, inspired the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steerage of my course, direct my sail on my lusty gentleman.
Strike! Drum!
Where's Popgun? What the hell not to take away? He shift a treasure, he scraped the trencher.
When good manners shall lie all in one or two men's hands, and they unwashed too, 'tis a foul thing.
Away with the joint stools, remove the court cupboard, look to the plate. Good thou, save me a piece of marchpane, and as thou lovest me, let the porter in, Susan, Grindstone, and Nell. Antony and Potpan.
Aye, boy, ready.
You are looked for and called for, asked for and sought for in the great chamber.
We cannot be here and there too. Cheerly, boys, be brisk a while, and the longer liver take all.
Welcome, gentlemen. Ladies that have their toes unplagued with horns, we'd have a bout with you. Aha, my mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes daintily, she elsewhere hath scorns. Am I corn near thee now? Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor and could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You're welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. A hall, give room, and foot it, girls. More light, you knaves, and turn the tables up, and quench the fire. The room is grown too hot. Ah, sirrah, that this unlooked for sport comes well. Nay, see it. Good cousin Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is now since last yourself and I were in a mask?
Fire lady? 30 years.
What, man? 'Tis not so much. 'Tis not so much. 'Tis since the nuptial of Lucentio. Come, Pentecost, as quickly as it will. Some 25 years, and then we masked.
'Tis more, 'tis more. His son is elder, sir. His son is 30.
Will you tell me that? His son was but a ward 2 years ago.
What lady is that? Which doth embrace the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Oh, she doth tee the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night, like a rich jewel in the Ethiop's ear, beauty too rich for us, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove tripping with crows, as yonder lady her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed by rude hand. Did my heart love till now, forswear its sight? For I never saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Fetch me my rapier, boy. What dares the slave come hither covered with an antique face to fleer and scorn out our solemnity? Now by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why? How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, or fool. A billion in his heater come in spite, to scorn out of solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Contently, gentle cause, let me alone. Let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for the wealth of all the town here in my house do him this paragement. Therefore, be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which if thou respect. So I fair presence and put off this front, and will busy me in semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What goodman boy, I say he shall go too. And I am the master here, or you. Go to? You'll not endure. God shall mend my soul. You'll make a Montini among my guests. You will set cock a hoop. You will be the man.
Why, uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to, go to. You are a saucy boy. Isn't so indeed? This trick no chance to scathe you. I know what. You must contrary me. Marry, 'tis time. Well said, my heart. You a prince cock. Go, be quiet, or more light, for shame. I'll make you quiet. What cheery, my heart.
Nations perforce with witful clother meeting, makes my flesh trembles in their different greetings. I will withdraw, but this instruction shall now seem sweet, convert to bitter gall.
If profane with my unworthiest hand, this holy shrine. The gentle fine is this, my lips, two bluish pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saint lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou, let faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from thy lips, or trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book?
Madame, your mother crave a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary, bachelor. Her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter that talketh withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear Count, my life is my foe's death.
Away, be gone. The sport is at the best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet for us. Is it in so? Why then, I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. More torches here. Come on then. Let's to bed. Sirrah, by my faith, it waxes late. I'll to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What is yond gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
What's he that now is going out of door?
Marry that, I think, be young Petruchia.
What's he that follows there that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask him his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
His name is Romeo, and Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate, too early, seen unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me, that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? What's this?
A rhyme I learned even now of one I danced withal.
Juliet,
And come, let's away. The strangers all are gone.
Now old desire does in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair. Now Romeo is beloved and loved again, alike bewitched by the charm of looks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she still loves sweet bait from fearful hooks. Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers us used to swear. And she, as much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo, my cousin Romeo.
He is wise, and on my lie hath stolen him home to bed.
he ran this way and leaped the orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I conjure to Romeo, humorous, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sight. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry but I me, pronounce but love and dove. Speak to my gossip Venus one fair word, one nickname for her purblind son and heir, young Adam Cupid, he that shot so trim, when King Cockatoo aloft the beggar made, he heard not, he stirred not, he moved not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg and quivering feet, and the denseness that there adjacent lie, than in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there and stand till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite, my invocation is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name I conjure only but to raise him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
Love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now he will sit under a medlar tree, and wish his mistress with that kind of fruit, as maids called medlars, when they laugh alone. Romeo that she were, oh that she were, at open, etc., grew a popper in pear. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for this is vain. To seek him here, that means not to be found.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, What light through yonder window breaks? It is the eastern. Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief that thou have made art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vessel livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks yet, she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres and till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven were through the airy region streams so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven unto the wide upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze of him, when he best rides the lazy pacing clouds and sails up on the bosom of the air.
O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art set thyself, though not a Montague. What's a Montague? It is nor a hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be with some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose? By any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes, without a title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be anew baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that dost discriminating night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I overperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do that dares love attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
They do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their sight, and but thou love me. Let them find me here. My life were better, ended by thy hate, than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
Thy love, who first prompted me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I'm not pilot yet, were thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea. I would adventure for such merchandise.
Thou know'st the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet if thou swearst, thou mayst prove false at lovers' perjuries. Then say Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkst I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse, and say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond, and therefore you mayst think my behaviour light. But trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more true than those that have more cunning to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but that thou overheardst, ere I was ware, my true love's passion. Therefore pardon me, and not impute this yielding to light love, which the dark night hath so discovered.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear, that tips with the silver all these fruit tree tops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by the gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
Ah, if my heart's dear love,
Well, do not swear, although I joy in thee, I'll have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night, this bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night, as sweet repose and rest come to my heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou this requested, and yet I would it were to give it again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose? Love?
But to be frank and give it thee again, and yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea, my love as deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinity. I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse, sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
oh, blessed night. I am afeard, being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow by one that I'll procure to come to thee. Where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madame?
I come anon, but if thou mean'st not well, I do beseech thee.
Madame,
I I come to see that thy sweet, and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So strive, my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse. To want thy light, love goes toward love, as schoolboys from their books, but love from love toward school with heavy locks.
Hist, Romeo, hist. Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse, and may not speak aloud. Else would I tear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition of my Romeo's name.
It's my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' songs by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My dear,
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
At the hour of 9.
I will not fail these 20 years till then. I have forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I loved thy company.
And I still stay to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird who lets it hop a little from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty.
I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such a sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be tomorrow.
Sleep well upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. But I were sleep and peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave, and my dear half to tell.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checking the eastern cloud with strength of light, and flecked darkness like a drum dark reels from fourth day path and Titan's fairy wheels. Now, ere the sun advance his burning eye, the day to share and my dark dew to dry, I must upfill this oyster case of ours with baleful wheats and precious juiced flowers. The earth that nature's mother is her tomb, and is her barren grave that is her womb. And from her womb children of diverse kind, which sucking on her nature bosom find. Many for many virtues excellent, none but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in herbs, plants, stones, and their true qualities. For nothing so vile what on the earth doth live, but not the earth some special good doth give, nor aught so good, but strained from that fair use, revolt from true birth, stumbling on abuse. Virtue itself turned vice, being misapplied, and vice sometimes by action dignified. Within the infant brain and the small flowers, poison hatch resins and medicine power. For this, being smelled, with that part shears each part, being tasted, slays at all sense with this the heart. To such opposed kings and paths then still in man as well as earth, grace and root will, and where the worst is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up the plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite, what early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, and where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth with unstuffed brain doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore, thy earliness doth me assure thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or, if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosalind?
With Rosalind, my ghostly father? No, I have forgotten that name, and that name's well.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been, then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask it me again. I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one half wounded. That's by me wounded. Both are remedy. Within lie health and holy Psyche's lie. Here I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my incesting likewise steadies my foe.
Be plain, good son, and humbly in the thrift. Riling confessions fine, but writing thrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on me, and all combined, save what thou must combine by holy marriage, when and where, how we met. We wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosalind, for whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in thy eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosalind! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love, that of it dost not taste. The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans ring yet in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If e'er thou wast thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosalind. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me oft for loving Rosaline, for doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And baddest me bury love.
Not in the grave, to lay on one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, speed not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. The love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, younger wherever, come, go with me. In one respect, I'll be assistant thy. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household rancor to pure love.
Let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow they stumble that run fast.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight? Not to his father's. I spoke with his man.
Ah, that same pale-hearted wench, that Rosaline. Torment him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared. Alas, poor Romeo, he is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, shot through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bow boy's butt shaft, and he is a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats, I can tell you. Oh, he is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. Rest me in his minimum rest. 1, 2, and the third in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house of the first and second class. Ah, the immortal pasado, the punto reverso, the high.
The what?
Those parts of such antique, lisping, affecting, fantastious, this new turn of accent. Like Jesus, a very good blade, a very tall man, a very good whore. Why is not this a lamentable thing, grandsire, that we should be thus affected with these strange flies, these fashion mongers, these pardona miss, who stand so much on the few form, that they cannot at ease on the whole blanch. Oh, their bones, their bones.
Here comes Romeo. Here comes Romeo.
Without his robe, like a dried herring, flesh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Now is he for the numbers that Petrarch flowed in. Laura to his lady was but a kitchen wench. Mary, she had a better love to be rhyme her. Dido a dowdy, Cleopatra a gypsy, Helen and Hero hillings and harlots. This be a grey eye or so, but not to the purpose. Signor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to your French slop. You give us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The ship, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon? Good Mercutio, my business was great, and in a such case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning, the courtesy.
So he's most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why, then is my pump well flowered?
Well said. Follow me this jest now till thou hast worn out thy pump, that when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain after the wearing soul singular.
Oh, single-souled jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faints.
Switch and spurs, switch and spurs. Oh, I'll cry a match.
Nay, if thy wits run the wild goose chase, I have done. For thou hast more of the wild goose in one of thy wits than I am sure I have in my whole 5. Was I with you there for the goose?
Thou was never with me for anything when thou was not there for the goose.
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is a very bitter sweetening. It is a most sharp sauce.
And is it not well served in to a sweet goose?
Oh, where's a wit of chivalry that stretches from an inch narrow to an ell broad?
I stretched it out for that word, broad, which added to the goose, proves thee far and wide, a broad goose.
Why, is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. For this driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bauble in a hole.
Stop there! Stop there!
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair.
Thou wouldst else have made thy tail large?
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I was come to the whole depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear.
A sail, a sail.
Two, and a shirt, and a smock.
Peter,
Anon.
My fan Peter.
Good Peter, to hide her face, for her fans the fair face.
God, ye good morrow, gentlemen. God, ye good den, fair gentlewoman.
He said, good den?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
out upon you, what a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God had made for himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar. Quothe, gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you have found him that he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yeah, is the worst well? Very well took. I faith, wisely.
If you behave, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Abad, 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 so ho.
What hast thou found?
No hare, sir, unless a hare, sir, in a Lenten pie, that is something stale and hoar aye it be spent. An old hare whore, and an old hare whore, is very good meat in Lent, but a hare that is whore is too much for a score, when it whores aye ere it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your father's? We'll to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady, farewell. Lady, lady, lady.
Very farewell. I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman, nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand in a month.
Speak anything against me. I'll take him down, and I wear lustier than he is, and 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I am none of his flirt kills. I am none of his king's meters. And thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave to use me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you a pleasure. If I had my weapon, should quickly have been drawn out, I warrant you. I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion in a good quarrel and the law on my side.
Now, afore God, I'm so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave, pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bade me inquire you out. What she bade me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if you should lead here into a fool paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior. As they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore, if you should deal double with her, truly it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and I faith, I will tell her as much. Lord, Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there shall at Friar Lawrence cell be shrived and married. Here is for the pain.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir? Well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress.
Now God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayest thou?
my dear nurse?
Is your man's secret? Did you ne'er hear say? You may keep counsel, putting one away.
I warrant thee, my man's as true as steel.
Well, sir, my mistress is the sweetest lady, Lord. Lord, when 'twas a little prating thing, or there is a nobleman in town, one Paris, that would fain lay knife abroad. But she, good soul, had as lief to see a toad, a very toad, as see him. I anger her sometimes and tell her that Paris is the prosper man, but I'll warrant you, when I say so, she looks as pale as any cloud in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo began both with a letter?
Ay, nurse, what of that? Both with an R.
Oh, mocker, that's the dog's name. R is for the, no. I know it begins with some other letter, and she had the prettiest sentence of it, of you and Rosemary, that it would do you good to hear it.
Commend me to thy lady.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter,
Anon.
Peter, take my fan, and go before and apace.
The clock struck mine when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Persons she cannot meet him. Not so. Oh, she's lame. Love's hurl should be thoughts, which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving dark shadows over luring hills. Therefore, do mingled pinnings dove drown love, and therefore hath the wind sweep Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours that she's not come. Has she affection and warm youthful blood? She would be as swift in motion as a foe. My word would bandy her to my sweet love, and this with and his to me. But all folks, many friends as they were dead, unwilly, slow, heavy and pale and lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh honey nurse, what's new? Hast thou met him? Send the man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Now, good sweet nurse, oh Lord, why look'st thou sad? Thou news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I'm a wire, give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache, what a hot John hath I had.
I would thou hadst my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
Art thou out of breath? when thou hast breath, to say to me that thou art out of breath. The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll state the circumstance. Let me be satisfied it's good or bad.
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man, yet his legs excel all men. And for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not be talked on, yet they are past compared. He is not a flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him, as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What said he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches. Oh, what a head have I. It beats as it would fall in 20 pieces. My back, oh, the other side. Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about, to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
I' faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me what says my love.
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poet's for my aching bones? Henceforward to your messages yourself. Sarges yourself.
Here's such a call. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got to leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friars Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in my cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder, by the which your love must climb the bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your daylight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, 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 go. All to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrows can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in the triumph die, like fire and powder, which is the kiss consumed. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so, too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady. Oh, so light of foot, will never wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer that idles in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall. So light is a vanity.
Good evening to my ghost confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else him thanks too much.
Ah, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and thine skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in words, brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up some of half my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work. For, by your leave, you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee. And by the operation of the second cup drawn in on drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such a fellow?
Come, come, thou art as hot as a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Nay, and thou art too such. We should have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Why thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a head more, or a head less, in his beard than thou hast? Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes? What eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy head is as fond of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, and yet thy head hath been beaten as idle as an egg for quarreling. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street, because he hath wakened thy dog that hath lain asleep in the sun. Didn't thou fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? With another for trying his new clothes, his shoes with odd riband? And yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
And I was so apt to quarrel as thou art. Any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple, oh, simple.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
But my heel I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good then. A word with one of you?
And but one word with one of us, couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortst with Romeo.
Consort, what? Dost thou make us minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us? Look to hear nothing but discord. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Sounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw unto some private place and reason coldly of your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze upon us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir. If he wear your livery, marry, go forth to field. He'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the hate of thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a billion.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage. To such a greeting, villain, am I none. Therefore, farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw.
I do protest, I never injured thee, but love thee better than you can devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my loss. And so, Good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as my own, be satisfied.
O calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Alice Stoccata carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal, and as you shall use me hereafter, drive it the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pitcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put the pair up.
Come, sir, you passado.
Draw up, Benvolio. Beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly have forbidden bandying in Verona streets. Hold, Tybalt. Good Mercutio.
I'm hurt. A plague of both your houses. I'm spared. Is he gone and have nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
I a scratch, a scratch. Mary, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man. The heart cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door. But 'tis enough, shall serve. Ask me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I am warranted for this world. A plague, oh, both your house. Downs, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat, to scratch a man to death. A beggar, a rogue, a villain, that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil come between us. I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or shall faint a plague of both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too, your houses.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that an hour hath been my kinsman. O sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor's steel.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant spirit had aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth.
This day's black fate on more days doth depend, but this but begins the woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Alive be him, and Mercutio slain, away to heaven respectively, Lentity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, the late thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep his company, either thou or I, or both must go with him.
Thou wretched boy, that didn't consort him here. Shalt with him hence.
That shall determine that.
Oh, Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up, and Tybalt slain. Stand on amaze, the prince will doom thee death. If thou art taken hence, be gone away.
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge thee in the prince's name. Obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies this man slain by young Romeo that slew the kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin, oh, my brother's child, oh, prince, oh, cousin, husband. Oh, the blood is spilled, oh, my dear kinsman. prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin, cousin!
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo handed slay. Romeo that spoke him fair bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, come look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel and bold Mercutius breast, who while as hot turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorted. Romeo, he cries aloud, oh, friends, friends, pardon, swifter than his tongue. His agile arm speeds down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life out stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and thought they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly, just as the truce, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, King. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hate's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawl doth lie a bleeding. But I'll amerance you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuse. Therefore use none, let Romeo hence in haste, else where he's found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will, mercy but murderers, pardoning those that
Gallop space, you fairy-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging, such a warner as Phaethon would whip you to the west, and bring his cloudy night immediately. Spread the cloud curtain, love-performing nights, the runaway out may wink, and Romeo live to these arms, own talk of the unseen. Lovers can see to do their armors right by their own beauties, or if love be blind, is best agree with nights. Come, civil night, thou lovers suited matron, and all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match. Praise for a pair of stainless maidhoods, hood, my own man blood, bathing in my cheeks with the black mentals, feel strange love, grown bold, think true love, act simply modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, though they night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, withered than new snow on a river bank. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night, give me my Romeo, and when he shall die, take him and cut him out of a little star, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garnished sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possess it. And though I am so not yet enjoy so hideous in this day as of the night before come festival, to an impatient child that hides new robes and may not wear them. Oh, where comes my nurse? And she bring news, and every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what's news? What hast thou there? The court that Romeo bid thee fetch.
Aye, aye, the cords.
Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
Oh, what a day! He's dead! He's dead! He's dead! We're undone, lady, we're undone. Allah today, he's gone, he's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, whoever have thought it, Romeo.
What devil art thou that thus torment me thus? This torture should be roared in this small hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say thou, but I, in that bare vow, I shall poison more than the death-darting eye of cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or those eyes shut that make the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine of my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine eyes. God save the mark. Here on his manly breast, a piteous course, bloody piteous course, pale, pale as ash, all bedaubed in blood, all in gored blood. I sworn at the
Oh, break my heart, or bankrupt break at once. To prison, eyes near look of liberty, pale earth, to earth's sign and motion here, and though and Romeo press one heavy fear.
Oh, Tybalt, Tybalt, the best friend I had. A courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that ever I should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead? My dear loved cousin and my dearer lord? Then, dreadful trumpet, sound the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone and Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he's banished.
Oh God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did, it did. Alas, the day, it did.
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Beautiful tyrant, fiend angelical, dove-feathered raven, wolfish ravening lamb, despised substance of divinest show, just opposite to what thou justly seemst, a damned saint, an honorable villain. O nature, what hadst thou to do in hell, when thou didst bower the spirit of a fiend, in moral paradise of such sweet flesh? Was ever book containing such vile matter so fairly bound? Oh, that deceit should dwell in such a gorgeous place.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men, all perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Ah, where's my men? Give me some aquavitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. For 'tis the throne whose honor may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth. Oh, what a beast was I to chide at him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? Ah, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt's dead that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore weep I then? Some word there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory. Like damned guilt deeds to sinners' minds, Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That one word banished, hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it had ended there. Or if sour woe delights in fellowship and needly will be ranked with other griefs, why followed not when she said, Tybalt's dead, thy father or thy mother, nay, or both, which modern lamentations might have moved? But with a rearward following Tybalt's death, Romeo is banished. To speak that word, is father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo is banished. There is no end, no limit measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears, mine shall be spent, when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Take up those cords, poor robes, you are begilded. Both you and I, for Romeo is exiled. He made you for a highway to my bed. But I, a maid, thy maiden widowed. Come cords, come nurse, I'll to my wedding bed, and death not Romeo take my maddened head.
Hie to your chamber, I'll find Romeo. Comfort you, I wot well where he is. Hark ye, your Romeo will be here at night. I'll to him, he is hid, Lawrence's cell.
Oh, find him, kiss him ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take this last farewell.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sore company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment, be merciful, say death, for exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Hence from Verona, art thou banished? Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence is banished from the world. And what thou is death? Then banished in that mixed terms, calling that banishment? Thou cuts my head off with a golden axe and smiles upon the stroke that murders me.
Oh, deadly sin, oh, rude unthankfulness, thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word, death, to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest it not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, live here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessing from her lips. who even in pure and vestal modesty still blush as unthinking their own kisses sin. But Romeo may not, he is banished. Flies may do this, but I from this must fly. They are free men, but I am banished. And say'st thou yet that exile is not death? Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death? Though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished? O friar, the damned use that word in hell, howlings attend it. How hast thou the heart, being a divine, a ghostly confessor, a sin absolver, and my friend professed, to mangle me with that word banished?
Dolphin, madman, hear me, but speak a word.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
I'll give thee armor to keep of that word, adversity swim milk, philosophy to keep thee. Thou art banished.
Yet banished. Hang up philosophy. Unless philosophy can make a Juliet, displant a town, reverse a prince's doom. It helps not, it prevails not. Talk no more.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ear.
How should they, when that wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy state.
Thou canst not speak of that thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as I, Juliet, thy love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me and like me banished, then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, well knocks, good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not unless the breath of heartsick grows mislike, enfold me from the search of eyes. Hark how they knock, who's there? Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken, stay a while, stand up. Run to my study, by and by, God's will, what simpleness is this? I come, who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome then.
There are
Oh, holy friar, oh, tell me, holy friar, where is my lady's lord? Where's Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, here's even in my mistress' case, just in her case. Oh, awful sympathy, piteous predicament. Even so lies she, blubbering and weeping, weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand, and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an hole?
Nurse? Sir, well, that's the end of all.
Speaketh south of Juliet. How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer? Now I have stained the childhood of our joy, with blood removed but little from her own? Where is she, and how does she? And what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up. And Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls.
as if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her as that name's cursed hand murders her kindman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, is what veil part of this anatomy doth my name dodge? Tell me, that I might sack the hateful mansion?
Hold thy despot hand. Art thou a man? Thou form cries out, thou art. Thy tears are womanish. Thy wild acts know the unreasonable fury of a beast. Unseemly woman. in a seeming man, or ill beseeming beast, and seeming both, thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself, and stay thy lady too, that lives in thee? By doing damned hate upon thyself, why wilt thou on thy birth, the heaven and earth, since birth and heaven and earth, all three do meet in thee at once, which thou at once wouldst lose. Fie, thou shamest thy shape, thy love, thy wit, which like an usurer aboundest in all, and usest none in that true use indeed, which should bedeck thy shape, thy love, thy wit. Thy noble shape is but a form of wax, digressing from the valor of a man. Thy dear love sworn by holy perjury, killing that love which thou hast vowed to cherish. Thy wit, that ornament to shape and love, misshapen in the conduct of them both, like powder in a skidless soldier's flask, is set afire by thine own ignorance, and thou dismembered with thine own defense. What, rouse thee, men? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatened death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessing lights up upon thy back. Happiness courts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thou pouts upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy love, as was agreed, ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live till we can find a time to bless your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 20,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt onto. Romeo's coming.
O Lord, I could have stayed here all the night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you. Sir, how you make haste, for its glow very late. How will my comfort is revived by this?
Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be said, or by the break of day disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mounta, I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap to you that chances here. Give me thy hand, 'tis late, farewell, good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me. If it were a grief, so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so likely that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kind mind Tibet dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. This very late shall not come down tonight, I promise you, but for your company, I would have been in bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she is mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris' love, and bid her, mark you me, and Wednesday next, but soft. What day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday, haha. Well, Wednesday is too soon. Oh, Thursday let it be. Oh, Thursday, tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we rebelled much. Therefore, we'll have a dozen friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday? My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Oh, Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho. For me, it is so very, very late, that we may call it early by and by. Good night.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark. That piece that fell full hollow of thin air. Nightly she shines on John pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace their severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon light is not daylight, I know it, I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales. To be this the night, a torchbearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not to be gone.
Let me be ta'en, let me be put to death. I'm content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say on grace, not the morning eye. 'Tis but the pale reflex on Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark, whose notes do beat before the heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It's not day.
It is. Hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasant sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loathed toad change eyes. Oh, now I would they had changed voices too, since arm from arm that voice doth us affray, hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse,
Your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look out.
Then, window, let's day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell, one kiss, and I descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, I husband, friend, I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings. Love to thee.
oh, thinkst thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in time to come.
Oh God, I have an ill divining soul. Methinks I see thee. Now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou lookest pale.
And trust me, love, in my eye so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
Oh, Fortune, Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, Fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Oh, daughter, are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother? Is it she not down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures his hither?
Why, how Juliet?
Madame, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death, as at the villain lives which slaughtered him.
Which villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo.
Villain. And he be many miles asunder. Oh, God, pardon him. I do, with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Ay, madame, from the reach of this my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he soon shall keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed? Madam, if I could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt therefore, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him. Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy
And
comes well in such an easy time. What are they, I beseech you, ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectst not, nor I looked not for.
Madame, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the county Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now, by St. Peter's Church, and Peter's too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at the haste that I must wed. Ere he that should be husband comes to woo, I pray you tell my lord and father, madame, I will not marry yet, and then when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
When the sun sets, the air doth drizzle dew. For the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears? Evermore showering. In one little body, thou counterfeitst a bark, a sea, a wind. Or still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark of thy body is sailing in this salt flood, the winds, the signs, who raging with thy tears, and them with them, who without suddenly a calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered her to our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks, but I would be the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How? Was she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed? Unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now, chop logic? What is this? Proud, and I thank you, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress minion, you, thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds. But fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, go with Paris to St. Peter's Church. I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion! Out, you baggage, you tallow face!
Fie, what are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church o' Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer. My fingers itch. Wife, we scarce thou us blessed, that God has lent us but his only child. But now I see this one is too much, and that having a curse in her, out on her, idly.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady Wisdom? Hold your tongue, good prudence. Matter with your gossips, go.
I speak no treason.
O God, ye Godden!
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbly fool. Utter your gravity or a gossip's bowl. For here we need it not.
You are too hot.
God spread. It makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone in company. Still, my care has been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demenseness, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched, puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune standard to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray for you, pardon me. But as you will not wed, I'll pardon you, grace, where you shall not house with me. Look, Tot, think on't. I do not use to jest. Thursday is near. Lay hand on heart. Advice. And you be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you be not. Hang, beg, starve, die in the streets for my soul. I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust what? Bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
There no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week. Or if you do not, make the bite of bread in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I will not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
O God, O nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. How shall that faith return again to earth, unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. Alack, alack, that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing. That he dares ne'er come back to challenge you, or if he do, he needs must be by stealth. Then, since the case so stands as his doth, I think it's best you married with the county, or he's lovely gentleman. Romeo, dishelled him an eagle madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye, as Paris have, beshrew my very heart. I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead. Or Tyr as good he were, as living here, and you not use of him.
Speakest thou from thy heart?
And
And
from my soul too, or else bewail them both.
amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrencel, to make confession and to be absolved.
Marry, I will, and this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, I most wicked fiend. Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn? Or to dispraise my lord with the same tongue, which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counselor, thou my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
On Thursday, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
Immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little thought of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counsel it dangerous, that she doth give me her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hasteth our marriage, to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone, may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady towards my cell.
Happily met, my lady, and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That maybe must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will I. Am I sure that you love me?
If I do so, it will be of more price being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their sight.
Thou wrong'st it more than tears with that report.
That is not slander, sir, which is the truth. And what I spake it to my face.
Thy face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It might be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now? Or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me. Pensive daughter now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield, I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come will with me, past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it. On Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call me resolution wise, and with his knife I'll help it presently. God joined my heart and Romeo's thou our hands, and ere this hand by thee Romeo sealed, shall be the label to another deed, or my true heart with treacherous revolt turn to another, this shall slay them both. Therefore, out of thy long experienced time, give me some present counsel, or behold, twixt my extremes and me this bloody knife shall play the umpire, attributing that which the commission of thy years and art could to not issue of true honor bring. But not so long to speak, I long to die. If what thou speakest, speak not of remedy.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope, which craves as desperate an execution, as that is desperate which we would prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to kite away this shame, that copeth with death himself to escape from it, and if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
No, bid
Oh,
me.
lips, rather than marry Paris, from off the battlements of yonder towers, or walk in thievish ways, or bid me lurk where serpents are, shame me with roaring bears, or shut me nightly in a charnel house, oh, cover quick with dead men's growling bones, with wrinkly shacks and yellow sharpless skulls, or beat me to into a new made grave and hide me with a dead man in his dirt. Things that no hair from toll have made me tremble, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to leave an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home. Be merry. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilled liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep his native progress. But surcease, no warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade. To paly ashes thy eyes' windows fall, like death when he shuns up the day of life. Each part deprived of supple government shall, stiff and stark and cold, appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes, the rouse thee from thy bed. There art thou dead, Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall be come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. This shall free thee from the present shame, if no inconstant toy, no womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Give me, oh, tell me not of fear.
Hold, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to the Lord.
Love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
So many guests to invite us here, writ. Sarah, go hire my 20 cunning cooks.
You shall have none ill, sir, for I'll try if they can lick their fingers.
How canst thou try them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook that cannot lick his own fingers. Therefore, he that cannot lick his fingers goes not with me.
Go, be gone. We shall be much unfurnished for this time. What, is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Ay, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do some good on her. A peevish, self-willed harlotry it is.
See where she comes from, Shrift, with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been getting?
Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedience and opposition to you and your behest, and I am enjoined by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. I banish you henceforward, and I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell, and gave him what becomed love I might, not step o'er the bounds of modesty.
Why, I'm glad on. 'Tis well, stand up. This is as should be. Let me see the county. Ah, Mary, go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now, afore God, this reverend holy friar, our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is enough time.
Go, nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. Tis now near night.
Tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet, help to deck up her. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the housewife for this once. What ho! They are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris to prepare him up. Against tomorrow, my heart is wondrous light, since this same wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Aye, those attires are best, but gentle nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight, for I've need of many orisons to move the heavens to smile upon my state, which, well thou knowest, is cross and full of sin.
Where are you busy, ho? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have culled such necessaries as are behooveful for our state tomorrow. So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full all in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll come I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? My dismal scene I needs must act alone. Come, Vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, this shall but forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison, which the friar subtly hath ministered to have me dead, lest in this marriage he should be dishonored, because he married me before the Romeo? I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not, for he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There is a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth not healthsome air breathe in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very like horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for this many hundred years the bones of all my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night spirits resort. Alack, alack, is it not like that? I, so early waking with loathsome smells, and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals, hearing them, run mad. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his throat, and in this rage, with some great kinsman's bone, as with a club dash out my desperate brain? Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost, seeking out Romeo that did speed his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee.
Hold, take these keys, and fetch more spices, nurse.
They call for dates and quinces in the pastry.
Come, stir, 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 the second cock hath crowed, the curfew bell hath rung. 'Tis 3 o'clock. Look to the baked meats, good Angelica, spare not for the cost.
Go, you cut queen, go. Get you to bed, Faith. You'll be sick tomorrow for this night's watching.
No, not a whit. What? I have watched ere now all night for lesser cause, and ne'er been sick.
Aye, you have been a mouse hunting your time, but I will watch you from such watching now.
A jealous hood, a jealous hood. Now, fellow, what's there?
Things for the cook, sir, but I know not what.
Make haste, make haste. Pura, fetch drier logs. Call Peter, he will show 3 where they are.
I have a head, sir, that will find out logs and never trouble Peter for the matter.
Mass and well said, a merry whoreson, ha! Thou shalt be loggerhead, good faith to stay. The county will be here with music straight, for so he said he would. I hear him near. Nurse, wife, what ho? What, nurse, I say! Go waken Juliet, go and trim her up. I'll go and chat with Paris. Aye, make haste, make haste. The bridegroom, he has come already. Make haste, I say.
Mistress, what? Mistress, Juliet, fast. I warn her, Why, lamb, why, lady, fie, you've locked a bed. Why? Law, I say, madame, sweetheart, why, bride? What, not a word? You take your penny worth now, sleep for a week, for the next night, I warned. The Count of Paris had set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me, Mary and Amen, how sound is she asleep? I must needs wake her. Madame, 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 let the Count take you in your bed. Hell fright you up, my faith. Will it not be? What? Dress, and in your clothes, and down again. I must needs wake you, lady, lady, lady. Alice, Alice, help, help. Oh, my lady is dead. Oh, well a day that ever I was born, some aqua vitae, oh, my lord, my lady.
What noise is here?
Oh, lamentable day. What is the matter?
Look, look, oh heavy day.
Oh, oh me, my child, my only life. Revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, help.
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come.
She's dead, deceased, she's dead, alack the day.
Alack today, she's dead, she's dead, she's dead.
Ha! Let me see her. Out, alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled, and her joints are stiff. Life and these lips have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Oh, lamentable day.
Oh, woeful time.
Death, that hath cannon her hence to make me wail, ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Is your bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never return, O son. The night before the wedding day hath death lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir, my daughter. He hath wedded. I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's.
Have I thought long to see this such a sight?
Accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day, most miserable hour that e'er time saw in lasting labor of his pilgrimage. But one poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace him, and cruel death hath catched it from my sight.
Oh woe, oh woeful, woeful, woeful day, most lamentable day, most woeful day that ever, ever I did yet behold. Oh day, oh day, oh day, oh hateful day, never was seen so black a day as this. Oh woeful day, oh woeful day.
Beguiled, divorced, wronged, spited, slain. Most detestable death. By thee beguiled, by cruel, cruel thee quite overthrown. Oh love, oh life, not life, but love and death.
Eyes distressed, hated, martyred, killed, uncomfortable time. Why camest thou now to murder our solemnity? O child, my soul, and not my child. Dead art thou, alack, my child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not. In these confusions, heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better is in it for the maid. You part in her, you could not keep her from death, but heaven keeps his part in eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion, for 'twas your heaven she should be advanced. And weep ye now, seeing she is advanced. above the clouds, as high as heaven itself? Oh, in this love, you love your child so ill that you run mad, seeing that she is well. She's not well married that lives married long, but she's best married that dies married. Dry up your tears and stick up your rosemary on this fair course, and, as the custom is, in all her best array, bear her to church. For though fond nature bids us lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All
All
things
things that we ordinary festival turn from their office to black funeral, or instruments to melancholy and bells, or wearing cheers to a sad burial feast, or solemn hymns to solemn dirge change, or bridal flowers serve for a buried corse, and all things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam, go with him. And go, Sir Paris, every one prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave. The heavens do lower upon you for some ill, move them no more by crossing their high will.
Faith, we may put up our pipes and be gone.
Honest good fellows, put up, put up. For, well, you know, this is a beautiful case.
Aye, by my troth, the case may be amended.
Musicians, musicians, heart disease, heart disease. Oh, and you will have my live play heart disease.
Why heart's ease?
Oh, musicians, because my heart itself plays, my heart is full of woe. Oh, play me some merry dump to comfort me.
Not a dump, tis not time to play now.
You will not then?
No,
I will then give it you soundly.
What will you give us?
No money on my faith, but the Gleek I will give you the Mistral.
Then I will give you the serving creature.
Then will I lay the serving creature's dagger on your face. I will carry no crutch. I re you, I fa you. Do you note me?
And you are us and fat us. You note us.
Pray you, put up your dagger and put out your wit.
then have it you with my wit. I will dry beat you with an iron wit and put up my iron dagger. Answer me like men. When griping grief the heart doth wound, and doleful dumps the mind oppress, then music with her silver sound. Why silver sound? Why music with her silver sound? What say you, Simon Catlin?
Merry, sir, because silver had a sweet sound.
Pretty, what say you, Hugh Rebeck?
I say silver sound, because musicians sound for silver.
Pretty too. What say you, James Soundfast?
Faith, I know not what to say.
Oh, I cry you mercy. You are the singer. I will say for you, it is music with her silver sound, because musicians have no gold for sounding. The music with her silver sound would speed help, though length redless.
What a pestilent knave is this same.
Hang him, Jack. Come, we'll in here. Tarry for the mourners and stay dinner.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams present some joyful news at hand. My bosom's lord sits lightly in his throne. And all this day, an unaccustomed spirit lifts me above the ground with cheerful thoughts. I dreamed my lady came and found me dead. Strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think. And breathed such life with kisses in my lips that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love itself possessed. when but love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How fares my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it even so? Then I defy you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Hush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my God, Lord.
No matter, get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and whereabouts he dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds, with overwhelming brows, calling of simples, meager, where his looks sharp mystery had worn him to the bones, and in his needy shop a tortoise hung, an alligator stuffed, and other skins of ill-shaped fishes, and about his shelves a beggarly account of empty boxes, green earthen pots, bladders, and musty seats, remnants of packthreads, and old cakes of roses were thinly scattered to make up a show. Nodding this penury to myself, I said, and if a man did need her poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lives a caitiff. Wretched would sell it him. Oh, this same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house, being holiday. The beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary!
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon spitting here, as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the live weary taker might fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath, as violently as hasty powder fired, doth hurry from the fatal cannon's wand.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Then be not poor, but break it and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will, and drink it up. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch your strength.
There is thy gold, war's poison to men's soul, doing more murders in this loathsome world than this poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison. Thou hast sold me none. Farewell. Buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Julia's grave. for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother Ho,
This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or, if his mind be read, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out of one of our order to associate me here in this city, visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua was there stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood. The letter was not nice, but full of charge, of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Get me an iron crow, and bring it straight unto myself.
Brother, I'll go and bring thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come, poor living corse, close in a dead man's tomb.
give me thy torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof. Yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yond yew trees lay thee all along, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground, so shall no foot upon the churchyard tread, being loose, unfirm, with digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it. Whistle then to me, as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee. Go.
I'm almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thy bridal bed I strew. O woe, thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will dew, or wanting that, with tears distilled by moans. The obsequies that I feel for thee will keep nightly, shall be to strew thy grave and weep. The boy gives warning something doth approach. What cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What with a torch? Muffle me, night, a while.
Give me that mattock and that retching iron. Hold, take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon thy life, I charge thee, whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore, hence be gone. But if thou jealous, dost return to pry. And what I further shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hunger churchyard with thy lined limbs. The time and my intents are savage, wild, more fierce and more inexorable, for than empty tigers or the roaring seas.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show my friendship. Take thou that, live, and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. For all this same, I'll hie some her about. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy rotten jaw to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
This is that banished haughty Montague, that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies. I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle Jude, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me, think upon this gun. Let them affright thee, I beseech thee, youth, but not other sin upon my head, by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone, by heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, leave. I hereafter say, a madman's mercy bade thee run away.
I do defy thy conjurations, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch.
Oh, I'm slain, false. I thou be merciful. Open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet. Dies.
In faith, I will. Let me peruse this face, Mercutius' kinsman. Noble County Paris, what said my men when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so? Oh, give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh, no, a lantern slaughtered to youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou here by our dead men's interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? Oh, my love, my wife, death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath, hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered beauty's ensign yet in his crimson, in thy lips and in thy cheeks. And death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt lies thou there in thy blood, in thy bloody sheet. Oh, what more favor can I do to thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous, and that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here and dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here I will remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars. And from this world wearied flesh, eyes, look, you lass! Arms, take your last embrace, and lips, oh, you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, fitted conduct. Come, unsavory guide, thou desperate violet, now at once run On the dashing rocks I see sick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Rose, with a kiss, I die.
Saint Francis be my speed. How oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves? Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yond that vainly lends its light to grubs and eyeless skulls? As I discern, it burneth in the capel's monument.
It doth so, holy sir. And there's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long have he been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not, but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with that, if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay then, I'll go alone. Fear comes upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill unlucky thing.
As I did sleep under the yew tree here, I dreamt my master and another fought, and that my master slew him.
Romeo. Alack, what blood is this? Which stains the stony entrance of this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace? Romeo! Oh, pale! Who else? What Paris too? And steeped in blood? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stares.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my love? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise, lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict has towards our intents. Come, come away. The husband in the bosom there lies dead, and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Go, get thee hence, for I will not away. What here? A cup, close in my true love's hand. Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. Oh, churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Haply some poison yet doth hang on them, to make die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Lead, boy. Which way?
Yeah, noise. Then I'll be brief. Oh, happy dagger. This is the shit. Thy shit. The rust, and let me die.
This is the place, there where the torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, wherever you find attached, pitiful slight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm, and newly dead, who here hath lain these 2 days buried. Go, tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues, some other search. We see the ground whereon these woes do lie, but the true ground of all these pitiful woes we cannot without circumstances here.
Here's Romeo again. We found him in the churchyard.
Hold him in safety, till the prince comes hither.
Here's a prayer that trembles, sight and weed. We took this musket and this spade from him as he was coming from the churchyard side.
A great suspicion. Stay the fire too.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
What should it be that they so trick abroad?
The people in the street cry Romeo, some Juliet, and some Paris, and all run with open outcry toward our monument.
What fay is which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here's a friar and slaughters Romeo's men with instruments upon them, fit to open these dead men's tombs.
Oh heavens, oh wife, look how our daughter bleeds. This dagger hath disdain for lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague. In it, missheathed in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me, this sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up, to see thy son and hear more early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
O thou unthought, what manners is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of an outrage for a while, so we can clear these ambiguities, and know their spring, their head, and their true descent. And then will I be general of your woes, and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear, and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected as the time and place those make against me, and this fearful murder. And there I stand, both to impeach and purge, myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once, what thou dost know is this.
I will be brief, for my short date of breath is not so long as is a tedious tale. Romeo, there dead, was husband to that Juliet, and she, there dead, that Romeo's faithful wife. I married them, and their stolen marriage day was Tybalt's doom day, whose untimely death banished the new-made bridegroom from the city, for whom, and not for Tybalt, Juliet pined. You, to remove that siege of grief from her, betrothed and would have married her perforce to county Paris. Then comes she to me, and with wild looks bid me devise some mean to rid her from this second marriage, or in my cell there would she kill herself. Then I gave her, so tutored by my art, a sleeping potion, which so took effect as I intended, for it wrought on her the form of death. Meantime I writ to Romeo, that he should come hither as this dire night, to help to take her from her borrowed grave, being the time the portion's force should seize. But he which bore my letter, Friar John, was stayed by accident, and yesternight returned my letter back. Then, all alone, at the prefixed hour of her waking, came I to take her from her kindred's vault, meaning to keep her closely at my cell till I conveniently could send to Romeo. But when I came, some minute ere the time of her awaking, here untimely lay the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. She wakes, and I entreated her come forth and bear this work of heaven with patience. But then a noise did scare me from the tomb, and she, too desperate, would not go with me, but, as it seems, did violence on herself. All this I know, and to the marriage her nurse is privy. And if aught is miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before his time, unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and then in post he came from Mantua to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give his father, and threatened me with death going in the vault. I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look at it. Where is the county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made your master in this place?
He came with flowers to strew his lady's grave, and bid me stand aloof, and so I did. Anon comes one with light to ope the tomb, and by my masters drew on him, and then I ran away to call the watch.
This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, therewithal, came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate. That heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's tonsure, for no more can I demand.
But I give thee more, for I will raise her stature in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo's by his ladies lie. Poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished, for never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Adrian Scott. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. My name is Maritza Bernaza.
Thank you for your time, Jason Biffis.
Thank you so much, Ana Harazo.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Melissa Murua.
I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you very much. Michael Sang.
Thank you for hanging out with us and this amazing experience. And my name is Ariane Benedetti.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Claire Hazel Basave, and see you soon.
Bye-bye.